Good afternoon, everyone. This is the State Expedited Accusations calendar in the State Court of Fulton County, Georgia, and I'm Judge Melanie Williams. Is courtroom 2 logged in? Miss Grace, is courtroom 2 coming?
They haven't logged on yet, Judge, but ACDC did just log on.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon. Who do you have
Okay.
with you at ACDC? Has everyone been interviewed at ACDC?
Yes, I have Miss McLeod, Miss Ringfield, and I have the two ladies for for Attorney Carrera. If we can do us first, I've been having issues with this computer all morning.
All right, that's fine. And I'm trying to do another court as well at the same time. So we are going to proceed. Good afternoon, everyone who's here. I'm sure courtroom 2 will log on in a moment. This is State Expedited Accusations calendar in the State Court of Fulton County, Georgia. I'm Judge Melanie Williams. And at this calendar, we'll address matters for those individuals recently arrested. As you can see, parties that we are conducting this hearing by video, that means any member of the public can log on and watch. You have a right to remain silent to all the defendants, and you have a right to an attorney. And when I ask if you understand your rights, that is what I am referring to. All right, can we do Ms. Ringfield first?
Miss Ringfield, have a seat, please.
Ms. Ringfield, your case is 26 CR 002040E, and you're charged with simple battery family violence.
One is ready, Judge.
Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Ms. Harvey, can I please have the history?
We can't hear you.
Yes, Your Honor. First arrest, recommendation is a UJR jail. Nothing further.
Thank you so
One is
much.
ready, Judge.
Ms. Evans Battle?
Yes, Your Honor. I didn't know who the conflict attorney was. We were making an offer for a consent bond. But the conditions would be for a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial services at level 1, that they enroll in the diversion and pay the required fees, no further violent contact with Tony McBride, enroll and complete 4 hours of anger management classes, the law and decision-making class, have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond, and no further violations of the law.
And I'm sorry, it was Tony McBride. Is Tony McBride president wishes to make a statement?
She's the co-defendant in the
Oh,
case.
it was a dual arrest, understood.
It's a dual arrest, Your
Ms.
Honor.
McLeod, your position regarding that consent offer?
Well, I believe the recommendation is bond to the jail, Your Honor, which is what I would prefer.
I won't be doing that at this time in light of the nature of the charge, Ms. McLeod.
Well, we'll consent.
I'm not forcing you consent. I would I would give her a signature bond, but it would not be through the jail. I would have to hear the facts of the case, but I just wanted to know what your thoughts were about the consent to see. If you want to take the consent, I'm fine with us, signing off on that. Otherwise, I'd have to hear what happened and we go through the whole thing. So it's up to you, Ms.
I'm not
McLeod.
sure what happened either. I believe it was a misunderstanding between herself and Mom, and I was under the impression my client was the one who called the police.
Okay, so are you rejecting the consent?
No, I'm not rejecting it, Your Honor. It's just that pretrial puts the state puts conditions on these bonds, which require
No, it was a diversion offer. So what I'm asking, Ms. McLeod, is do you want your client to go through the diversion offer? And I'm assuming, Ms. Evans Battle, if they do that, you consider the null process afterwards because it will be a diversion.
Yes.
So really the
Yes.
question here is, does your client want to go through diversion, or do we want to do a regular signature bond, Ms. McLeod, and go through that process?
I would have to ask her and explain to her what diversion is. I don't think I can consent for her.
Okay, so is there a way for Ms. McLeod to speak? Where is ACDC? Are they gone? Oh, we're gonna have that kind of day.
The falling off. But it's all this money that's involved, based on what she tells me. It sounds like she didn't really do anything, but I have not seen a warrant, so I don't know what the allegations are.
Okay, understood. So, when ACDC comes back, let's see if there's a way for you to speak to her to see if that's what you'd like to do, or we're gonna go through the.
But she's definitely qualified for signature bond, so I'm
Well,
okay.
right, I understand, but I still have to hear the whole case if we're not gonna go that way. So that's all my only question, Ms. McLeod. Okay, so we'll hold. I don't know where ACDC went. I'm putting down that we're holding. Who is that courtroom one?
Yes, this is courtroom one, yes. We had six courtrooms today.
That's fine. Who's there?
We have position number 13, Mr. Poole.
Okay, Mr. Poole, your case number is 26CR002031A. You're charged with simple battery, disorderly conduct, and 2 counts of disorderly conduct. All defendants, please pay attention. You have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have a right to counsel at this hearing. And as you can see, I am conducting this hearing by video. I am not there in person with you. That means any member of the public can log on and watch. All right, Ms. Harvey, can I please have Mr. Poole's history?
Yes, Your Honor. 23 cycles. Last arrest was February 8, 2025, out of Fulton County for willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. There is an open case for simple battery under 25 CR 000184A. An open case number 26 PI 002460, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, battery, and criminal trespass and damage to property. 2021 theft by receiving stolen property, 2021 battery, 2017 terroristic threats, disorderly conduct, and simple assault, 2016 terroristic threats and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, 2013 theft by taking, 2010 criminal trespass, and at least 4 other convictions outside the 10-year period. Recommendation is a level, nothing further.
I'm sorry, recommendation was
Level 2, Your Honor.
level 2. All right, Mr. Sirocco, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. I did want to add that open case ending in for simple battery, ending in 184A, is in dormant bench warrant status after he failed to appear for final plea before Judge Roth on January 8th of this year. And just as well, I did see a 2020 FTA. This incident here from April 2nd of last year took place at 3060 Peachtree Road in Atlanta. It's the Wells Fargo there. There was a dispute with a customer. Officer made contact with the victim, Miss Nikita Lynch. She was working at the bank and explained that the defendant, a customer at the bank, became upset when he was informed his account had been closed. He couldn't withdraw from it. He was demanding $5,000. Mr. Omar Stewart, the branch manager, sort of heard this, began to escalate. The defendant failed to provide valid ID, saying he only presenting a piece of paper saying he just released from Fulton jail. He was denied service essentially and became upset. Don't start any of that blank SHIT. I will beat your ASS and your teller too. The defendant then slapped the computer monitor at the teller's desk, knocking that over, which struck Miss Lynch in her chest and arms and the lap area. And before leaving the bank, the defendant stated, "Don't worry, I will be back." He was positively identified by Mr. Omar Stewart later. With his history, the 2020 FTA, and additionally, I'm not sure if this was stated, but he's also being held on charges of felony obstruction, battery, and criminal trespass, damage to property from an incident that was March 26th, so just yesterday of this year. We did speak with Ms. Lynch. She confirmed the events in the warrant, explained that the defendant's account was closed. There was no money in it. She made him aware of it, that it was closed on a previous occasion. She doesn't know the defendant. This was her first experience with the defendant, but Mr. Omar Stewart was apparently familiar with him from prior dealings. She's asking for no further contact and to stay away from that branch location there. The state's recommendation with his history, which is a lot of violence, multiple battery convictions and NOLOs, and with the FTA, we're recommending $4,000 total surety, $2,000 on the simple battery, $1,000 on each disorderly conduct. Social worker visit might be appropriate here for BHET. No further contact with Nikita Lynch. No further contact with Omar Stewart. Stay away from that Wells Fargo at 3060 Peachtree Road in Atlanta. And no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond, Your Honor.
All right, and it was Nikita Lynch. What was the other name?
Omar Stewart.
Okay.
If we
Are
could see.
either of those parties present on the line and wish to make a statement? Okay, hearing none. Who represents Mr. Poole? Is that you, Ms. Kim? You look very small. All right, Ms. Kim, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Poole is actually 63 years old, and we do agree with the social worker visit for his housing and the HET.
Oh, 1 second.
I believe that it might be wiser to reset his case to the competency calendar.
One second.
At this point, we will just move forward as a regular course.
And Ms. Kim, do you intend to do, I typically will not move them to the competency calendar unless an eval is ordered. So do you intend to order an eval at this juncture?
I think I can do that.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry, Ms. Kim, was there anything additional?
His education was up to first grade, ever since first grade. He has not gotten any education. That's about it, Your Honor.
All right. Defendant is going to receive a $1,500 surety bond, $500 on each count. He's to have no contact with either of the alleged victims. Stay away from that location. He's to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. He is going to our state all-purpose calendar on April the 9th in light of the fact that he's receiving a surety bond. Is there anything additional from the state of defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Please hold for 1 second.
I ain't do that. I ain't, hey, man. Oh, yeah, yo, my bullshit. We get on our team. Oh. Yeah, I don't got work to do. I don't got bad for work. People go. But I'm saying, we all pay third. What more next person? Not bad.
No. Feel like we're all.
Thank you for your patience. I'm ready for the next position.
We got, position number 1.
All right, and was ACDC ever able to log back in?
We
Ms.
got,
McCall, if you have a way to call ACDC to speak to your client, please try. All right, this is Khalida Abraham. Is that correct? All right, your case is 26CR002026K. You're charged with obstruction and pedestrian in a roadway. Do you understand your rights today?
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Ms. Harvey.
Last arrest was May 2nd, 2019, out of Mount Vernon, Illinois, for criminal trespass to land. There was no disposition listed for this case, Your Honor. Recommendation is a level 2. Nothing further.
All right, thank you, Mr. Sirocco.
Yes, Your Honor. This defendant here was seen. He was walking down the right shoulder down I-20 eastbound. And this was on March 25th of this year, so just a few days ago. He was walking away from the officer who made contact with him and then eventually pushed away while he was placed under detention. The state's recommendation here is going to be a signature bond through pretrial. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And I believe that's it for this. I'm not sure if he needs a social worker visit.
Okay. Ms. Kim?
yes, Your Honor, Mr. Abraham is actually 54 years old. He struggles with residential challenges, so we will be asking social worker to provide housing resources. And Your Honor, the thing is, though, this charge is way too much. You know, he was just walking, and it's not a serious crime, and nobody really people get afraid of officers when officers are coming toward them. So I don't think that there was a severe obstruction. Your Honor, we asked for a signature on bond through jail. I just don't want to set him up for the failure for doing pretrial service when he has challenges.
All right, defendant is gonna receive a 2-cent bond, 1 cent on each count. He's to have a social worker visit, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. In light of the very low cash bond, he'll be reset to state all purpose on the 9th of April in the event he does not make that low cash bond. Is there anything additional from state or defense?
Nothing for the
Okay.
defense, Your
All
Honor.
right, and are there any other consent bonds that we can hear?
Yes, there are 2 consent bonds. One is for conflict case, and the other one was for PD Korea's case.
Can we do that person?
Your Honor, I have not been able to speak with Ms. McBride. I'm unsure of where she's housed.
Ms. McBride at courtroom, I think she's at ACDC, which we couldn't get to.
Yeah, so I was able to interview 2 women at ACDC, but she unfortunately was not one of them.
You are
Okay.
actually, we got a phone call from Officer Milton, and she says that she has a technical issue with her computer to log in. So Officer Clinton and Officer Milton are trying to fix it right now.
Okay, so hopefully we'll find her soon, Attorney Correa. Thank you. All right, who do we have next?
Position number 2, Mr. Atkins.
Okay, Mr. Atkins, your case is 26CR002027L. You're charged with theft by shoplifting. Do you understand your rights? Is that a yes? Speak loudly.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Harvey.
Yes, Your Honor. 18 cycles out of Georgia, also 2 out of Alabama and 1 out of Texas. Last arrest was September 11th, 2025, out of Atlanta for theft by shoplifting. Appears to be probation out of Fulton County for willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer and criminal trespass. Sentenced April 15th, 2025 to 3 years and 7 months. Also probation out of DeKalb County for criminal trespass. Sentenced May 12th, 2025. Open case out of Fulton County for theft by shoplifting under 25 CR 005-534L, and an open case for theft by shoplifting under 23 SC 185671. 2 FTAs from 2025, an FTA from 2023, conviction from 2022 for driving while license suspended or revoked, 2017 criminal trespass, and 2016 driving while license suspended. Nothing further.
Thank you, Mr. Sirocco. Most important is what had he taken from where?
It was a $289.99 bicycle from Target at 3535 Peachtree Road. He's in violation of the stay away provision, stay away from all targets from his bond under 25 CR 005534L, which was another target theft, Judge. On account of his FTAs, the property stolen here in his violation. We are recommending a $3,000 surety bond. Stay away from all targets in Fulton County. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Okay, understood. Ms. Correa?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Atkins is 34 years old. I have verified with him that the address listed in Odyssey is a good address for him, and he has lived there for 6 years. He is employed at Gusto's, where he works as a line cook on their grill, so he does have stable employment, and he is financially responsible for his 13-year-old son. At this time, we're asking for a $50 cash bond.
All right, defendant will receive a $50 cash bond. He is to stay away from the target. Is it all targets that he currently has, Mr. Sirocco?
Currently all targets in Fulton County, Your Honor.
All right, so he's to stay away from all targets in Fulton County. Ms. Correa, please advise your client in accordance with that. He's to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and he's going to state all purpose on the 9th. Is there anything additional? All right. I'm sorry, Ms. Correa, go ahead.
I was saying not from the defense.
All right,
They
Mr.
would object to the low cash bond here, Judge, given that he's in violation of his bond order.
Understood. Thank you, Mr. Sirocco. All right, who do we have next?
Position number 3, Mr. I'm sorry, position number
Baragan.
Baragan.
All right, Mr. Baragan, your case is 26 CR 002028D. You're charged with DUI, open container, and obstruction. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Harvey.
3 cycles. Last arrest was November 6, 2025, out of Forsyth County. For contributing to delinquency of a minor, there was no disposition listed for that case. There also appears to be an open case out of DeKalb for furnishing 2 persons below legal age of alcohol beverages, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, DUI, and furnishing tobacco to minors. Nothing further. Recommendation is a level 2, Your Honor. Nothing further.
All right, thank you. Ms. Evans-Spano.
Yes, Your Honor. On March the 26th of 2026, officers went to the apartment complex known as Villas de Mirasol, 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 in reference to a noise complaint coming from a vehicle that was parked in the parking lot. Once they made entrance into the complex, they saw that his vehicle, which was a GMC Terrain, was in the middle of the right-of-way in the entrance of the complex, and the music was playing loudly. The officer turned on the emergency lights in order to make contact with the driver, and the vehicle suddenly accelerated towards the actual officer who was in his vehicle at the time. The officer moved his vehicle to avoid a collision, and the other vehicle suddenly made a right turn into the easement of another apartment. The officer was able to, at some point, make contact or eyes on him. He left the car and ran, and the officers eventually were able to locate him. Also found in the vehicle was a beatbox alcoholic beverage on the floor. He appeared to have, the officer could smell alcohol on him as well. So our bond recommendation in this case is for $5,000 as to the DUI under 21, $1,000 for the open container, and $1,000 for the
The obstruction.
The obstruction.
All right.
Parts. And so that's a $7,000 surety we're asking, and that condition be that he cannot drive, considering his open DUI cases and now this one, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and stay away from the villas unless I'm not sure what his address is. If he's living in that complex, it didn't appear so from the warrant. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Correa.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm just verifying quickly whether or not his address is in this complex. In terms of notice, I have verified that the address in Odyssey is a good address. It just needs to include apartment number 5. But that is where he resides with his parents. Mr. Baragan Ramirez is also a student at Oglethorpe University. He graduated from Centennial High School and currently works part-time at TJ Maxx. We have no objection to the recommendation made by pretrial services for a UJR level 2, but in the alternative, we would ask for a $1,000 bond on each charge for a total of $3,000.
All right, hold on one second. Okay. Okay, defendant is gonna receive a $3,500 surety bond, 2,000 on the DUI, 1,000 on the open container, and 500 on the obstruction. He's not to drive, he's to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and he is to stay away from that location if that is not his home. If that is his home, I'm not gonna exclude him from that address. All right, best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case for today. He's reset to state all purpose on the 9th of April. All right, best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Position number 4, Mr.
Mr. Feeks, your case is 26 CR 002038G. In this case, you're charged with battery, family violence, and simple battery, family violence. You understand your rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Harvey.
One arrest from 2018 with the Monroe Police Department for a traffic offense operating while impaired. That was a conviction, Your Honor. Recommendation is a level 1. Nothing further.
Thank you, Ms. Evans-Panel.
Yes, in this case, it happened March the 26th. Officers went to 1080 West Peachtree Street Northwest in order to assist Julia Schumacher, who advised that she needed to go into her apartment in order to obtain some items. She had been in a dispute with her boyfriend, and that she indicated that he had placed his hands over her mouth and that she couldn't breathe, and he slammed and forced her to the ground, caused a laceration to a lower part of her leg. And he indicated once the officers got there, he didn't want to give a statement. The officer did note that his polo style t-shirt or shirt was torn, and there were signs of the dispute in the apartment. The bond recommendation is for $3,500 for the battery, $3,000 for the simple batter, which would be a $6,500 signature bond through pretrial services level 2. No further contact with Julia Schumacher until at least, well, I think she actually reached out and said she wanted no further contact with them. We would ask for him to start the FVIP program and that he stay away from the location unless if the court offers him a one-time visit, that he'll take law enforcement with him and determine that whether or not she's already left. Her plan was to have left, but I'm not sure that she has. So I would ask that, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'm sounding for Ms. Schumacher. I see you online, Ms. Schumacher. If you wish to make a statement, this is your opportunity to do so. I will need you to unmute your camera and raise your right hand. Await further instructions. You are not required to do so, however.
I don't want to make a statement.
Understood, thank you. Ms. Correa?
Yes, Your Honor. Sorry, there's a little bit of feedback. Mr. Feeks is 29 years old and moved to Atlanta in 2020. At present, the incident location is his address, but after speaking with him, he understands that he's very likely going to find housing elsewhere. I have informed him that he's going to need to update his address once he finds that new location. I have also spoken to his parents, Your Honor. Mr. Feeks technically does not qualify for the services of the public defender, so they are already in the process of retaining private counsel. But they are also driving down from South Carolina, and if Ms. Schumacher is so inclined, they have indicated that they would be willing to be a third party in order to collect Mr. Feeks' belongings from that apartment to prevent any further interactions between these two parties. He has a bachelor's degree. He has a master's degree. He is gainfully employed at Manhattan Consulting. So based on that, we have no objections to the pretrial's recommendation of a UJR level 1. Otherwise, I believe what Attorney Evans Battle said would also be reasonable.
All right, thank you. And I just want to clarify, Ms. Schumacher still resides at that location based on the information the state has. Ms. Evans Battle, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so defendant is going to receive a $6,000 signature bond at level 1 through pretrial services, $5,000 on count 1 and $1,000 on count 2. He's to have no further contact with Ms. Schumacher and stay away from that location. He can use, I'm gonna still require the law enforcement escort for him to collect his items despite his parents' generous offer. He's
Yeah,
gonna,
I won't be. I won't be there. Just to be clear, he's.
okay, thank you. He's gonna take the 1-day anger awareness course, have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons. As a condition, the case will be reset for the notice. All right, is there anything additional from the state of the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, hearing none. Best of luck to all parties concerned with this case. The matter is closed for today. Who do we have next?
Position number 5, Mr. Hecker.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Hecker. Your case is 26 CR 002039B. You're charged with destroying or damaging material used in detection or suppression of a wildfire. Do you understand your rights today? He's muted. I'm assuming that's a yes. Ms. Harvey?
4 cycles out of Tennessee. Last arrest was in 2000 for aggravated assault and resisting arrest. That did result in a conviction. Recommendation is a level 1 and nothing further.
All right, thank you. Ms. Evans Battle?
Yes, this incident took place March the 25th at 3330 Camp Creek Parkway, which is the Chipotle. He was lighting cardboard boxes during the closed business hours of the restaurant. And he stated to the officers he was just trying to see how long it took to burn cardboard. There appeared from at least from the warrant, that there was a previous arrest from February the 19th of 2026. We have not received it, but it was for the same offense. Our bond recommendation is for $1,000 surety. Stay away from the 3330 Camp Creek Parkway. Chipotle, no alcohol, drugs, weapons. We were concerned with MH issues. I'm not sure, and speaking with if the attorney has that same request, but we'd ask for a social worker visit for that reason. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons. I think I said that. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Correa?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Heckert is 47 years old. I did review his address in Odyssey, and he confirmed that that is a good address to receive notice. He is a military veteran from the Army. At this time, we have no objections to the UGR level 1.
All right, defendant is going to receive $1,000 surety bond. He's to stay away from that location on Camp Creek Parkway, have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and his case will be reset to state all purpose on April the 9th. Is there anything additional?
I would like to speak on my own behalf.
I don't think you should. You have a right to remain silent, and anything you say will be used against you. All right, I think the best thing for you to do at this juncture is speak to your attorney about this matter.
Ma'am, I am an attorney as well. That's the reason I had no charges from the first case, because they held me for 28 days and it's going to be a civil suit back against them. But I agree. I will maintain my right to remain silent.
All right, understood. Thank you. All right, who do we have next?
Position number 6, Mr. Johnson.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Johnson. Your case is 26 CR 002045E. Your charge is simple battery family violence. Is Mr. Johnson coming?
Yeah, come on, sir.
Your Honor, he's a bit advanced in age and does rely on a hearing aid, so.
Okay. All right, Mr. Johnson, your charge with simple battery. Do you understand your rights?
Yeah.
All right, is that a yes?
Right, yeah.
Your
All right, Ms. Harvey?
One arrest from 2007 out of Clayton County for possession of marijuana less than an ounce and purchase possession of a controlled substance. That case was dismissed. Recommendation is a UJR jail. Nothing further.
Thank you, Ms. Evans.
Yes, this happened on March the 23rd at 741 Carter Street. This was his son, Brian Para, is my understanding, is the victim in the case. And he appeared to have been angry about some things that were going in the home. And he grabbed a chair that Mr. Para was sitting in and pulled it from underneath him. Mr. Para has indicated that he was taking out his frustration of his, he was angry with his brother, taking out his frustration on him, as indicated that he has MH issues, and this may have been a issue that going on that day. We're asking for a signature bond, $3,500 signature bond through pretrial services. No further violent contact, and that he complete an MHET as well. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond. I'm not sure if Mr. Para is on the line or not.
Is Mr. Para present and wishes to make a statement? Ms. Correa, do you object to the signature bond and the MH?
I would request that it be a UJR through the jail. Mr. Johnson does currently receive MH services through the VA. He received an honorable discharge from the Army and does get ongoing services from there for disorders stemming from his time in service. He's actually scheduled for a surgery on Monday. So just the sooner we could get him out of custody, the better. I have verified that the apartment or that the address in Zoom is a good address. It just needs to add apartment number 11.
We're not going to do the MH quite at this juncture in light of the information presented. So defendant is going to receive the $3,000 signature bond at level 1 through pretrial services. He's to have no further violent contact with Mr. Para, have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. He will be reset. Further notice in light of the signature bond. Is there anything additional?
Not from the defense.
All right. Best of luck to you, Mr. Johnson. That concludes your case for today. Who do we have next?
Can I ask a question?
Very quickly, what is your question?
Here, ask it to Miss Kim. The lawyer sitting next to you.
I know, but what just happened? You got a signature line.
You're signing your own bond. I'm letting you out of jail, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Who do we have next?
Position number 7, Mr. Kellum.
All right, Mr. Kellum, your case is 26 CR 002042Y. Is Mr. Kellum coming? Mr. Kellum, in this case, you're charged with battery, family violence, and simple battery, family violence. You understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Ms. Harvey?
Horse Cycles, last arrest March 21st, 2026, out of Clayton County for 2 counts of VGCSA. Does appear to be an open case, Your Honor. Appears to be under first offender out of Fulton County for aggravated assault and robbery. Sentenced March 3rd, 2025. Open case out of Fulton for theft by shoplifting under 25 CR 07007-523G. And an open battery under 25 CR 000-579Y. Recommendation is a level 3. Nothing further.
Understood. Thank you, Ms. Harvey. Ms. Evans-Better?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident actually happened in July of 2025 at 707 Park Avenue Northeast. Elizabeth Guevara, Guevara, is the victim in this case, as well as in the case indicated by pretrial ending in the 579Y. This case, there appears to have been a dispute between the parties about the abuse and his attitude and things of that nature. She began to walk away from him because she felt like the argument was becoming intense, and he grabbed her by the hair and pulled her back to him and started punching her in the back of the head, along with on the left side of her face with a closed fist. He pushed her onto the floor and kicked her in the back and in the arm, and there were injury and lacerations to her, and the officer could see the bruising on her back as well. His mother was actually present while this was going on. She kept attempting to hold him back from getting to Ms. Guevara, but he was able to break free of his mother's hold. He had her on the bed. He got on top of her and began punching her multiple times in the head and face, striking her in the head with his cell phone. He attempted to choke her using both hands as well. In this particular case, because he does have an open case, I believe it was just in court on it, involving the same victim. Our bond recommendation is for $5,000 as to the battery, family violence, and $2,500 each to those simple batteries, making for a surety of $10,000. No further contact with the victim. Stay away from the 707 Park Avenue Northeast address or wherever she's living. This happened in July. I'm not sure if she is still living with him or not. And I don't know that she is on the call. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons, no firearms while out on bond. Thank you.
Is Ms. Guevara on the line and wishes to make a statement? Hearing none, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Kellum is 29 years young, and Your Honor, he is currently residing with his mother, and he denies the allegation. Indeed, he was at New York, and his mom can testify for that. He has been here in Georgia from 9 years. When he graduated from high school 2015, he had 3.2 GPA. He was playing basketball at North Dakota. He was actually a semi-pro basketball player. He also went to college for 1 year. Your Honor, he has been working as a foreman at waterproof. It's kind of like a waterproofing the house. The company that does that, he's been promoted to manage service foreman. And Your Honor, my client denies the allegation. They do not live together. They don't have any children together. And this happened more than 7 months ago. So we asked for no further violent contact, and yet he has no objection to stay away and no contact.
Ben is gonna receive a $5,000 surety bond, $3,000 on count 1 and $1,000 each on count 2 for the total of 5,000. So that should be 1,000 on each simple battery and 3,000 on the battery. He's have no contact with Ms. Guerrera. He is gonna stay away from that location, have no alcohol, no drugs or weapons. The case is going to state all purpose on the 9th of April. Is there anything additional from the state or defense?
Yes, Your Honor. Can he have at least a charity 10% program?
No, not at this time, Ms. Kim. But thank you. I appreciate your advocacy. All right, best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case.
Next, we have position number 10, Mr. Moore.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Moore. Your case is 26 CR 002034C. You're charged with battery family violence and simple battery family violence. Do you understand your rights today? Is that a yes, Mr. Moore?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Ms. Harvey?
5 cycles. The last arrest was in 2015 out of Fulton County for a failure to appear. He received first offender in the year 2000 for possession of marijuana, and that case was sealed. Recommendation is a UJR. Nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Evans-Bowder?
Yes, this happened March the 24th of 2026. Officers went to 3750 High Point Lane Southwest in reference to a dispute between the parties. The victim in this case is Natasha Mills, who indicated that Mr. Moore was irritated and confrontational with her. And while they were inside the residence, he made inappropriate advances toward her that she was uncomfortable with. She went to the car to remove herself from the situation, and then he forcefully pulled her out of the vehicle, took her wig off her head. She attempted to protect herself from him, which is how she received the lacerations on her forearm, where he was punching her. And so our recommendation at this time is that he indicated that he felt that she was being disrespectful to him. Our recommendation is for a $3,500 as to the battery and $1,500 as to the simple battery. We are asking for a surety bond, and even though we understand that he has not had any new charges for a while, we just think the intensity of this, our concern for the safety of the victim remains the state's position, and that there be no further contact. They stay away from the 3750 High Point Lane Southwest address. And I don't believe we had any input from the victim at this time.
If Ms. Mills present wishes to make a statement. All right, hearing none, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Mr. Moore is 47 years old, and Your Honor, he is currently residing at the eastern location, which is his father's house. And Your Honor, he was born and raised here in Georgia, and we do have a good phone number for his father and him. He graduated from high school in 1996, and then after that, he went to Diversion University for bachelor's degree. He had engineering major. After that, he worked at Kimco Logistics for about 23 years. And right now he is trying to find a new job, transitioning from the old job. Your Honor, my client denies the allegation, and he is this is his first offense ever. And we like to report, the relationship is this. The person who alleged victim is his relative, and his father was there. He wouldn't do anything that she's saying. We would like to request for a signature on file.
Defendant is going to receive a $5,000 signature bond at level 1 through pretrial services, $3,000 on count 1, $2,000 on count 2. I'm going to require he enroll in FVIP, and he is going to be on pretrial for the entire 12 months as opposed to the 6 months that it would normally have him be monitored. He's to have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons. The case will be reset further notice. I am going to require that he stay away from that location. If she resides there, he can return with law enforcement to make that determination. Is there anything additional?
Nothing further.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, sir.
Someone saved my life. Next, we have position number 11, Mr. Petri.
I'm sorry, position 11? All right, Mr. Petri, your case is 26 CR 002032D. You're charged with criminal trespass and damage to property. You understand your rights?
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Ms. Harvey.
2 cycles out of Georgia, also 7 out of Kansas and 4 out of Missouri. Last arrest was March 7, 2026, out of Atlanta for theft by shoplifting. Appears to be probation out of Fulton County for interference with government property and obstruction. Sentence 2/12/2026. Also an open case for theft by shoplifting out of Atlanta. 2023 conviction for tampering with an electric electric monitoring, 2017 forgery. Out of Missouri, 2020 driving while license revoked, and 2006 driving while license revoked. Recommendation is a level 2. Nothing further.
Thank you, Ms. Harvey. Ms. Evans been on most concerned really with where he was and what he damaged and the amount of the damage. Please proceed, sir.
I don't have the amount of the damage. It was a business actually that he went into. Our bond recommendation was for a $1,500, a $1,500 surety. Ms. Wilson is one of the property managers there. No further contact with her. Stay away from the location. Social worker visit for housing.
What was the business?
It's called Halpern Enterprises.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Evans Banner. Is this your case, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Kim, please proceed.
Yes, he is 41 years old, and Your Honor, he does reside with friend in Indiana. However, he moved to Georgia about 4 months ago, and he stays at a program called Outreach. He will continuously be sponsored by Outreach to stay there. So he does have a solid mailing address. Your Honor, this incident happened, let me see, March 25, and he denies the allegation, Your Honor. He does have a 1-year-old son, one minor child that he has to support, and he graduated from high school 2002, and after that, he went to University of Missouri for about 2 years to get college education, and he has been working at hotel hospitality industry for the last 20 some odd years, and he also does acting as he has a secondary career. And Your Honor, the place is actually acting facility, and we would like to request for a signature on bond. He just accidentally fell asleep. There was no intention whatsoever. We asked for a signature on bond.
All right, defendant is going to receive $1,000 surety bond. He's to have no contact with the alleged victim, Ms. Wilson, and stay away from that location. He's to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and he's going to state all purpose on the 9th of April. Is there anything additional? All right, best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Position number 12, Mr. Pena. Mr. Pena.
Mr. Pena Gaona, I'm sorry if I'm saying it incorrectly. Your case is 26 CR 001944B. You are charged with simple battery and criminal trespass. Do you understand your rights today?
Your Honor, real quick, I wanted to see, I don't know if my request for an interpreter went through.
Oh. Did we, or will we have interpretation today? Did you already interview him with the language line?
Oh, no, I speak Spanish, but
oh, okay.
I am not a court certified
No,
interpreter.
yeah, understood. I just want to make sure you didn't need to do an interview too.
Oh,
Are we
no,
gonna have interpretation today, Miss Grace or Miss Strong?
Oh.
So we're gonna have to go to another position anyway for a moment. We're holding on that one.
Your Honor, for Mr. Petri, can we possibly do a sheriff's 10% program so he doesn't have to go through like bonding company that requires collateral? He does not have house, Your Honor.
He does not have what? I'm sorry.
He does not have a collateral to go through the bonding company.
Okay, he can do the sheriff's 10%.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, who was that?
Number 11. And did Ms. Strong, what about the interpreter?
Oh, we'll have to see if we can get one, Judge. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And Ms. Kim, you don't have to say this during when you handle your person, please. Thank you.
All right. Who do we have next?
Position number 14, Mr. Ramsey.
All right, Mr. Ramsey, your case is 26 CR 002033C. You're charged for criminal trespass and theft by taking. Do you understand your rights? Is that a yes?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Ms. Harvey?
14 cycles. Last arrest was January 15, 2025, out of Fulton County for 2 counts of possession of a Schedule I controlled substance with intent to distribute, possession of tools, and possession and use of a drug-related object. 2018, criminal damage to property. 2012, traffic offense. Those are out of Florida, Your Honor. 2020, battery. 2017, obstruction. Also appears to be probation out of Fulton County for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and robbery, sentenced June 30th, 2025 to 5 years. Also on probation for possession of a Schedule I controlled substance with intent to distribute and possession of tools, sentenced June 30th, 2025 to 5 years, and an open case out of Fulton County for fleeing or attempting to elude. Instruction permits, provisional license, expired tag, no proof of insurance, failure to obey stop signs. It's a citation number out of Fulton County, 23 CIT 09650, and nothing further.
All right, thank you so much for that. Ms. Evans-Bell?
Yes, he was at 800. This happened back in November. He was at 800 West Peachtree Street Northwest, which is a Georgia Tech property he had previously been criminal trespass from due to his being involved with bicycle thefts on the property back in January of 2025. In this case, the victim is her name. I have to spell the whole thing. First name Rapeeporn, last name Saekow. She locked her bicycle about 4 o'clock and returned about a couple hours later, and it is a
Yes,
joy.
taken it. Allegedly.
Yes, he had allegedly taken it. So our bond recommendation is for a $3,000 as to it would be $1,500 as to each count, and that we would contend. I'm not sure even that he's a resident, based on some of the information that was contained in the warrant. Stay away from the victim and Georgia Tech campus. He already has a permanent ban from there, and he needs to comply with it. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
All right, understood. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Ramsey is 37 years old, and Your Honor, he denies the allegation. He has been actually at inpatient program called Sober Living America.
Good man.
Oh, no, I got it misunderstood. Good Land Recovery. That was the program that he has been. He was an inpatient there. I got Mr. Jason Rohamik's phone number that I can call and verify, Your Honor. And he is actually transferring to go to a new program called Sober Living America, Your Honor. We would like to request for signature on bond, and my client has a probation violation, so no matter what he gets, he will be here in Fulton County Jail until he addresses the issue about the probation violation. We would like him to be released to Sober Living America. And we do have a very good address, mailing address, and email address, phone number for him. And we ask for a signature on bond.
All right, defendant is going to receive a $1,500 surety bond, $750 on each count. He's to stay away from Georgia Tech in its entirety, consistent with the ban already in place. Have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. The case is going to state all purpose on the 9th, and I am going to ask that a social worker visit with him as well. Is there anything additional?
Can he have a 10% sheriff's program, Your Honor?
Not at this time, Ms. Kim. All right, best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Position number 17, Mr. Stanley.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Stanley. Your case is 26 CR 002029G. In this case, you charge a simple battery, cruelty in the third, battery, family violence, and obstruction. Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Harvey.
Last arrest, Your Honor, was February 23rd, 2026 out of Cobb County for cargo theft. No disposition was listed. This appears to be an open case. Also has an open case out of Fulton for fleeing or attempting to elude, failure to obey signs or control devices on the 25 PI 002146. 2016, theft by taking, criminal damage to property, and possession of tools. That was on the first offender, and nothing further.
All right, thank you, Mr. Sirocco.
Yes, Your Honor. This was an incident that took place, it was just yesterday at 1073 Hollywood Road in Atlanta. It's an apartment complex. Law enforcement was dispatched in reference to a dispute between the caller and victim, and her boyfriend. Upon arrival, the officer observed a man wearing all black running towards the back of the apartment complex. Officer had razzed that this person was possibly involved here. Stopped the patrol vehicle, gave command, stop, it's police, or stop police. The officer and another officer, following the defendant attempting to flee in the opposite direction, subsequently. They were able to give a chase by foot and ultimately detained him. They made contact with the caller, the victim here, Miss Nakira Shaw. She explained the defendant, who is her boyfriend, father of their son, and lives with her at the location, got into an argument with her about him having to watch their son. That's juvenile KS. She told the defendant to watch their son, and shortly after, the child, who is special needs, 5 years old, and is a severe flight risk from home, was at the door. She went to the defendant and said, "You have to watch him." He was at the door. Defendant said, "I'm tired, you can just watch TV." And there was an argument that escalated. With the defendant's aggressive behavior, Ms. Shaw then pulled out a phone, began to record the interaction. Defendant got up, began to grab at the phone, try to prevent her from recording. And while trying to get that, there was a contact he made with her face, resulting in a cut to her chin. Officers observed that laceration. The victim then stated she was leaving the location. That's where the defendant grabbed their son by the back of his hood and pushed him out the apartment door by his neck, stating, "If you're leaving, take him too." We did speak with Ms. Shaw. She stated the altercation was a disagreement, and that they were not seeing eye to eye. She said there was no physical altercation, which evidently was not the case and not what was said on the day of. But she did say they were only trying to grab the phone. It's clear they were wrestling over the phone here. And she stated she's not sure how she got the cut on her chin, thinking, or at least saying, it could be due to her long nails, and scratched herself while trying to hold the phone. Either way, it came from this dispute here. And they have been in a relationship for 15 years. They share a 5-year-old son. She is requesting no further violent contact and for the defendant to return home. And she said she works from home, and the victim is typically at therapy during the time of this incident. It's unclear whether she's speaking about the juvenile for his condition or herself, just from that there. But given what's alleged here, and what's the situation with the child, I know DFACS was notified. I'm not sure of their involvement in this case yet. State's recommending a $4,000 surety, $2,000 on the battery family violence, and $1,000 on the simple battery, as well as $500 each for the cruelty to children and obstruction, respectively. We're recommending 3 days anger awareness and a parenting class. No further contact with Nakira Shaw at this time. I understand she wants contact, but there has not been a sufficient cooling off period. This was just yesterday. And we'd be concerned for her safety this time. We'll ask for no further violent contact for juvenile KS. And we would ask the defendant, comply with any orders from DFACS that may be in existence here. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol, Your Honor. And if we could sound for Ms. Shaw at this time.
All right, Ms. Shaw, I see you online. You're not required to make a statement, but if you wish to do so, I need you to turn your camera on quickly and raise your right hand. I'll wait further instructions.
I'm trying to cut the camera on, but it didn't. It said you cannot start your video. Okay.
All right, do you swear, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right, thank you. You can put your hand down. What I'm most concerned with are concerns you have for your safety and whether you wish to maintain contact with the defendant. In light of that and for that request, what would you like to tell me?
I just like I wanted to just kind of go back and say what I said. I feel like it just was a disagreement. I don't feel like this is something that's going to be like ongoing. I think this is something that we can have a conversation about and have a understanding like, hey, this is what needs to happen. I don't think that the child is in danger. I think he's safe. I'm safe. I don't think that this is something that needs to be extended, prior to what it is, but here we are now. So the situation could have been avoided. I think if one of us could have just left the home, or even if I would have just gave him the phone and walked away because he paid for the phone. So it's technically his device, but it just got out of hand and I think it could have ended differently.
All right, understood. Thank you. All right, Miss Kim, or is this Miss McLeod? It's Miss Kim. Go ahead, Miss Kim.
Mr. Stanley is 30 years old, Your Honor, and he strongly wants to have a no further violent contact. They do live together. They have 3 children together, and one of them is actually autistic. So it's very hard for one parent to do alone. Your Honor, please note that he does not have a conviction. He does not have a failure to appear, no probation. He had education up to 12th grade. After 12th grade, he has been working hard. He works at production and staging industry. I said you went to school up to 12th. Oh, okay. And he's been working there ever since for 12 years, Your Honor. We asked for signature on bond and no further violent contact. Thank you.
All right, defendant is going to receive a $3,500 surety bond broken down as follows: 500, count 1, 500, count 2, 2,000, count 3, 500, count 4. He's to have no contact with Ms. Shaw at this time. Again, this can be addressed at a later date, but for now, there will be no contact, and he's to stay away from that location. He can return one time with a member of law enforcement. He's to have no further violent contact with the child. He can arrange transport of the children through a third party. He's to have no alcohol, no drugs, weapons. The case will be readdressed at state all purpose on the 9th, whereby even contact could be revisited at that juncture. Is there anything additional from the state of defense?
Nothing
No,
further.
Your Honor.
That's Your
All
Honor.
right. All right. Best of luck to all parties concerned.
Judge,
Yes.
500, 500, 2,000, and 500.
I'm sorry, say that again?
500, 500, 2,000, and 500. That was the order.
Correct.
Thank
Yeah.
All right, who do we have next?
Position number 18, Mr. Viveros.
All right, Mr. Viveros, your case is 26 CR 002043H.
Your Honor, this is another. I apologize.
Interpretation case,
Yep.
okay. I was hoping not. All right, who do we have next?
Position number 19, Mr. Walker.
Mr. Walker, your case is 26 CR 002036A. In that case, you're charged with battery family violence and simple assault family violence. You understand, right?
Sorry.
You understand your rights?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Harvey.
First arrest, Your Honor. Recommendation is a level 1. Nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Evans-Battle? You're muted.
Yes, your officers went to 830 Westview in Atlanta, which is Du Bois Hall. And at that location, it appeared that Patrick Foster, who is the boyfriend, had gone to retrieve personal property. And during that course of that, there was information provided that Mr. Walker had lured him to the location under the pretense of allowing him to return to get property and threatened him, saying that if you come any closer, that he was going to swing on him. And there was a physical altercation that occurred. Of course, Mr. Foster indicated he was trying to defend himself. And there was no there was some visible bodily injury to him, which was a laceration on his lip and his arm, and there was a broken nail as a result of this. The bond recommendation is for $6,000. There'll be $3,000 on each through pretrial services. Level 1, no further contact. Stay away from the more. Not sure what his relationship is to Morehouse campus. Of course, if he's a student there, I don't think that we should do a stay away. But we would ask for anger management classes to be done while there, at least 4 weeks of anger management. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
All right, and it was Patrick Foster. Is Patrick Foster present? Ms. Kim, any objection to the signature bond with the stay away and no contact?
Stay away, Your Honor. He goes to Morehouse College as a full-time student, Your Honor. He is
Okay,
there.
so if we remove that, any objection?
I have no objection, but my client wants to talk to me. Just 1 second, may I please?
Very quickly, yes.
Okay, Your Honor, we have no objection to signature on bond if we remove stay away. He is also 19 years old. He's not 21 years old.
Okay, defendant is gonna receive a $6,000 signature bond through pretrial services, $3,000 on each count. He's to have no contact with Mr. Foster, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. He is gonna be reset for the notice. I am gonna ask that he take a 2-day anger awareness course. Is there anything additional?
Nothing further from defense, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case for today.
I'm sorry, what level was that?
Level 1. All right, who do we have next?
Next we have add-on number 4, Mr. Gresham.
Oh, the add-on. Is there anybody, I haven't printed that yet. Is there anybody we could take for a moment from the regular calendar while I print the add-on calendar, or no?
Just over here, we just have the two,
Okay, hold on then. Ms. Sledge, if you hear me, would you please bring me up the add-on calendar? All right, let's see. All right, okay, this is Mr. Gresham. Mr. Gresham, your case is 26 CR 002046C. You're charged with criminal trespass. You understand your rights?
yes.
All right, Ms. Harvey.
24 cycles. Last arrest October 26, 2023 out of Fulton County for arson in the 3rd degree, 2 counts in disorderly conduct. There's a 2022 simple assault and criminal trespass, also a 2022 criminal trespass, 2022 obstruction and a PI case, 2023 disorderly conduct, 2019 criminal trespass. Recommendation is a level 2 and nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Sirocco?
Yes, Your Honor. This was at the Red Oak Village, 3435 Roosevelt Highway in Atlanta on March 24th, 2026. There was an employee at the smoke shop located there in that Red Oak Village Plaza who explained the defendant, who has already been issued a criminal trespass from the property. He came back in on that date and repeatedly asked for a lighter without means to purchase one. When it was denied, he became irate, disrespectful. Ultimately, he was transported to Grady. And shortly after, he was released on a citation and then returned to that same Red Oak Village location, but to it was the Grown and Sexy Tavern is the name. He was then arrested and transported. The state's recommendation with his history, you've heard quite a bit of criminal trespass there, and I believe disorderly conduct 2023. We're recommending a $2,000 surety bond, social worker visit for BHET and housing, stay away from the Red Oak Village at 3435 Roosevelt Highway in Atlanta, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Ms. Correa?
Your Honor, Mr. Gresham is 71 years old. I verified with him that the address listed in Odyssey is a good address for him. That is where he resides with his wife and daughter. He has 3 children and 3 grandchildren, and currently receives government assistance in order to support himself. At this time, we would ask that Your Honor follow the recommendation by pretrial services for a UJR level 2.
All right, defendant is going to receive a $30 cash bond. He's to stay away from those locations, have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons, and will be reset to all purpose on the 9th. Is there anything additional?
No, Judge.
All right,
No.
best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Um,
Before we do that, I have a question. I just got information that the young man already received a signature bond and a stay away on Saturday. I'm sorry, what case? Casey, what's wrong with that? Miss Strong, what case is that?
No. I was telling you about the victim, Judge. The other
Oh, the
part.
victims.
Yes,
Understood.
I was just
Okay.
letting you know when you said his bond, what it was, according to what
Understood.
you said.
Understood. Thank you. I read it late and wrong. We can keep going. Who do we have next?
we have add-on number 5, Mr. Jones.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Jones, your case is 26 CR 002047L. In this case, you're charged with battery family violence. You understand rights?
Yeah, something come to.
Thank you. Ms. Harvey?
First arrest, Your Honor. Recommendation is a UJR jail. Nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Evans Battle?
I'm sorry, Judge, I missed the name.
Trenton Jones, add-on position number 5.
Yes, Your Honor. In this particular case, the incident occurred March the 25th at 2127 Liddell Drive in Atlanta. Michelle Ross Chapman is the victim, and the officers indicated that they saw her. She was crying. She had visible marks on her face, bruising under her eyes, and other marks on her face, and bleeding from her ear. She indicated they were arguing about moving in together. They previously lived together. He punched her in the face and knocked her down, got on top of her, and proceeded to punch her. The bond recommendation in this case is for a $5,000 surety, signature bond through pretrial services. No further violent contact, stay away from the 2127 Liddell Drive, Atlanta address. Complete 4 anger awareness classes, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons or firearms while out on bond. Thank you.
So your position was no further violent contact, Ms. Evans Battle, or no further contact?
No further contact.
Okay. Is Ms. Chapman on the line and wishes to make a statement? Hearing none. Ms. Kim, you object to the signature bond with the stay away and no contact?
Your Honor, the incident location is his client's location where he works. He's handyman, self-employed. He does electronic, plumbing, HVAC, carpentry for his clients, and he has to finish his work. Your Honor.
Okay, so my question is he and the victim, do they still reside together?
So they don't live together. They never lived together, Your Honor.
Okay, so that incident location is not someplace that she would normally be found?
No.
Okay, even though she was there that time? All right, I won't do this, the stay away, however, he's to have no contact with her. All right, defendant is going to receive a $4,000 signature bond, through pretrial services at level 1. He's to have no contact with Ms. Chapman. He's to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. The case is gonna be reset for the notice, and he's gonna do the 1-day anger awareness course. Is there anything additional?
Nothing further from defense, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case for today. Who do we have next?
The two, interpreter cases, and, we're just waiting for ACDC to, line
Oh,
up.
I think ACDC is on. Is somebody there at ACDC? I guess not. That was wishful thinking. Are there any waivers today or announcements?
Yeah, we do.
Waivers, Your Honor, actually.
Okay, which one is the waivers?
Yes, Your Honor. Tyron Glenn, Mr. Lee, Lee, and Simmons Wilson.
Okay, and ACDC is online, so let's see if we can go there. Are there interviews that need to be conducted at ACDC?
No, Your Honor, can we go back to Attorney McLeod's client?
Okay, Ms. McLeod, did you have an opportunity? I think Ms. McLeod needed to speak to her client.
She did.
Okay, so Ms. McLeod, does your client wish to go through the diversion process at this
Yes, Your
time?
Honor, it does.
Okay, so that was position, I'm sorry, remind me of your client's name again.
Her name is Miss Ringfield, Your Honor.
Okay, I just found it right as you said it. So Miss Ringfield, we're gonna do the consent bond. If you would put that onto the record again, Miss Evans Battle.
Yes. It would be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial services, level 1. Enroll in the diversion and pay the required enrollment fees. No further violent contact with Ms. McBride. That you enroll and complete 4 hours anger management classes and the law and decision-making course. That there be no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond, and no further violations of the law.
All right, so that's, Ms. McLeod, that is what you consented to?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, with that, this matter is closed for today. Best of luck to you, Ms. Ringfield. That concludes your case for today. And Ms. McLeod, does that conclude your business?
It does, Your Honor.
Take care. Have a wonderful weekend, Ms. McLeod. Always a pleasure. Bye-bye.
So,
I'm sorry, Judge, before we proceed, Ms. Evans Battle, are you sending that consent bond, or do I need to write it up? You're sending it?
I can send it. I don't have her signature on it, but she's made her announcement. If the court is fine with that, I'll just send them over.
I mean, if you want me to write it, that's fine. I just need you to put the conditions in the chat for me again.
All right, then. Thank you.
All right, who do we have next?
Ms. Davis, I do not have her position number.
She's position number 2 on the add-on.
All right. Good afternoon, Ms. Davis. Your case is 26 CR 002050E. You're charged with criminal trespass and damage. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Ms. Harvey.
One moment, Judge. What's her? Okay, I don't.
She's
on my-
Kayla Davis. She wasn't
Okay,
on
I see her. I'm sorry, Judge. I see her. First arrest. The recommendation is level 1.
Thank you. Mr. Sirocco, I'm concerned primarily what was damaged and the amount, if you know it, and where she was.
I don't have the amount, Judge, but this was the mother-daughter incident. The victim is Deania Whitfield, the defendant's mother here. There was a verbal dispute, and she had thrown an item at the living room window, shattering it, then proceeded to get in a vehicle and speed away. We did speak with Miss Whitfield. She said the information in the report's correct. The defendant is her daughter, and this is the first incident of this nature. She expressed she wants the defendant to attend anger management classes and also complete her education, obtaining a GED, inquired about any programs that might be able to assist with this. She stated she wants contact with the defendant, and she should be online here. She states there have been no prior incidents. The recommendation from the state is a signature bond through pretrial. We would like her to get some anger awareness classes. We're recommending 2. No further violent contact with Deanya Whitfield, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Is Ms. Whitfield present, wishes to make a statement?
Yes.
All right, very quickly, please unmute, raise your right hand, and turn your camera on. All right, do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right, the state's recommended a signature bond and to allow your daughter to have contact with you. I'm most concerned about any concerns you have for your safety. In light of those instructions, what would you like to tell me?
Well, I don't fear for my safety. But I do I would like for her to attend anger management classes.
And Miss Whitfield, would you like her to stay away from the home, or do you want her to be allowed to visit the home?
It's fine. She's no threat.
Thank you. I appreciate you making that statement and coming to court. Ms. Correa, do you object to the signature bond, the no further violent contact, and 2 days of anger awareness?
I do not. I verified with her that her address in Odyssey is a good address to receive any future correspondence. I would also note that this has an incident date of June 18th, 2025.
All right, the defendant is going to receive a $2,000 signature bond at level 1 through pretrial services. She's going to take a 2-day anger awareness course, have no further violent contact with the alleged victim, have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons. Is there anything additional? All right, Ms. Davis, best of luck to you. That concludes your case. Who do we have next?
Charity Belucel.
Miss Charity Belucel.
All right, Ms.
And that's
Belucel.
position number 1 on the add-on.
All right, Ms. Belucel, your case is 26 CR 002049Y. In this case, you're charged with battery family violence. You understand your rights?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Ms. Harvey?
I'm sorry, before you continue, Judge, Mr. Jordan said she has 2 charges, not just 1. He forgot to
What's
add.
the second charge?
Hold on one.
Criminal trespass, damage to property is what I have.
Okay, and that was accused later, I'm assuming, or it just did make the calendar?
Let me check.
Okay. In the meantime, Ms. Harvey?
4 cycles, last arrest July 21st, 2022, out of DeKalb County for identity theft fraud. She was sentenced on that case March 18th, 2024 to 5 years probation. Recommendation was a UJR jail. Nothing further.
All right, thank you. Mr. Siraka?
Yes, Judge. So this was an incident involving the victim, Stefan Suduth. They share a child, him and the defendant. There was an argument over videos on the victim's phone. This was at 323 Berkeley Run in Sandy Springs, led to the defendant trying to throw the victim's phone onto the patio. Victim attempted to stop her. He grabbed her, so she punched him in the face, left a laceration under his right eye. The argument continued. Eventually, the phone was thrown onto the patio, shattering the screen and rendering it useless. State's recommendation here is a $3,000 total surety, $2,000 on the battery family violence, and $1,000 on the criminal trespass, damage to property. No further contact with Stephen Suduth. We have not been able to speak with Mr. Suduth yet. Out of an abundance of caution, that is what we'd be asking for here. Stay away from the 323 Berkeley Run address in Sandy Springs, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And also with this incident having taken place so recently, this was the 25th, so just 2 days ago. We think that no further contact's best here, Judge. If we could sound for him, if he does happen to be online.
All right, I'm sorry, the amount again, Mr. Siraka, I missed that.
3,000 total surety, Judge, 2,000 on the battery family violence, and 1,000 on the criminal trespass.
Thank you. And is Mr. Suduth present, wishes to make a statement? Okay, hearing none, Ms. Correa?
Yes, Your Honor. After speaking with Ms. Belucel, Mr. Suduth doesn't reside there. He lives with his mother at 2453 Kelly Lane. I have also verified that the address listed in Odyssey is a good mailing address for her, but she does reside at 323 Berkeley Run with her children. She has 3 kids, Your Honor, a 13-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 2-year-old. That 2-year-old is the child that they have in common, so we would ask for no further violent contact, at least for the purposes of childcare. Miss Belucel works 2 jobs. She works at a lash and brow salon in Buckhead as well as a restaurant in Smyrna. So on that basis, we're asking for you to follow the recommendation by pretrial for a UJR through the jail.
All right, defendant is going to receive, sorry, hold on. Okay, defendant is going to receive a $3,000 signature bond at level 1 through pretrial services. She's to have no further contact with the defendant at this time in light of the recency of the case. They can coordinate the transfer of a child through the third party. She's to have no alcohol, no drugs, weapons. The case will be reset further notice. Is there anything additional from the state or from the defense?
Judge, this is 1,500 on each.
For 2001, 1,002.
And Your Honor, if we're not imposing a stay away here, could we at least see about a one-time law enforcement escort to verify if he lives there? Because we haven't
Okay.
spoken.
All right, we'll do the one-time law enforcement escort to ascertain whether or not he resides there. All right, is there anything additional from the state of the defense?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, ma'am. That concludes your case for today. Who do we have next?
May we be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, you may. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We're still waiting on interpretation.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's do the wave cases. We may have to reset those for tomorrow if we don't get interpretation. All right, who are our waivers again? Lee was a waiver, I believe was one. Was that the first, McBride? What happened to number 9, McBride?
I'm unsure, Your Honor. Nobody has brought her to speak with me.
Oh, ACDC is gone. She was allegedly there.
Yeah, she was, to our knowledge, she was over at ACDC.
Oh, and she just, can somebody call ACDC back very quickly, just see if Ms. McBride is there? Thank you.
I had inquired with Officer Milton earlier,
And she said no?
She gave like a non-answer response, but I understand she was like dealing with the earlier probation calendar at the same time.
Okay, so she may
I feel like
be
it's
there.
her by herself, so.
Okay, well, let's take up the wave case in the meantime. Lee, 26 CR 001914B, in which she's charged with simple battery against an officer. Ms. Harvey?
12 cycles out of Georgia and 16 out of Mississippi. FTAs from 2020, 2021, and 2022. 2021 obstruction. 2021 theft by shoplifting, simple battery, and disorderly conduct. 2019 disorderly conduct in an open capital case under 22 SC 184108. Nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Evans Battle?
Yes, Your Honor, this happened in December and it happened at the jail. The officer was spat on, which is Deputy Baragan was spat on, and our bond recommendation is $1,000 surety. No further violent contact with the officer, and that would be our bond recommendation.
Thank you. Ms. Kim?
Your Honor, he has a huge huge fish to fry. We would like to ask for signature on bond through jail. This happened December 3 months ago, 4 months ago, and they didn't accuse until now. I mean, no matter what he gets, it's not a big deal. However, we ask for signature on bond.
All right, defendant is going to receive $1,000 surety bond. He's to have no further harassing or violent contact with the officer, have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. The case is going to state all purpose. Is there anything additional? Okay, and what was the other wave case? Was it Simmons?
Yes.
All right, let's take up Jalen Simmons Wilson. Case 26CR 002035A, in which defendant is charged with simple assault. Ms. Harvey?
One arrest from July 28, 2025 out of Jekyll Island, Georgia for unauthorized discharge of a firearm. That does appear to be open. There also appears to be a hold out of Glenn County
All
for
right,
disorderly conduct. Recommendation is a level 2. Nothing further.
thank you. Ms. Evans Battle?
Yes, this happened March the 25th at 3110 Roswell Road, which is Charlie Loudermilk Park. He was arguing with the victim, whose name is Kenneth Crawford, regarding Mr. Crawford's bicycle. He approached him and started swinging at him, and there was a witness. We understand Mr. Simmons Wilson is homeless. Our bond recommendation is for $1,000 surety, no further contact with Mr. Crawford. No, and we asked for a social worker visit as well for MH issues. Thank you.
Let's sound, is Mr. Crawford present? Hearing none, Ms. Kim?
Your Honor, we have no objection to social worker visit for housing and BHET. Your Honor, he has $600 surety bond already set by downtown judge. We would like to ask that to be remained set.
All right, the bond will remain as set as a $600 surety bond. Needs to have no further contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from that location, have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and he's going to state all purpose on the 9th.
Thanks, Your Honor.
What
All right.
position is that?
That was position 16, Jalen Simmons Wilson.
I'm sorry, and what was the bond again?
$600 surety remaining as set.
Thank
All right, what was the other waiver, Ms. Kim? Was it Ms.?
Phone number 3.
Yes, add-on number 3, Tyron Glenn.
Okay.
Before we get to that, could I just inquire about Regina Wilson, position 21? Is that going to be a waiver?
We didn't have a Regina Wilson at our pool sheets. Oh,
Well, we did.
oh, we did.
The female.
Sorry, I apologize.
Okay, well, yeah, and number position 20, where is Alexia Williams?
PD, Korea. Would you please, we assumed that she was at ACDC.
ACDC told me that they only had the 3 women that were previously here, so I don't know where they are.
Okay. If we could maybe try to call ACDC to see if those 3 people are there. In the meantime, we're gonna take up wave case add-on 326.
I do believe we now have a court interpreter. Not to jump the line here, but
we do?
Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Oh, okay. I see you, Lucia. Thank you. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm today that you'll make an accurate translation from English to Spanish, Spanish to English, best of your skills, knowledge, and abilities?
I do.
Thank you so much for that. We're gonna take up position 12, Roberto Pina Gayonia. I'm sorry if I'm saying it incorrectly, 26 CR 001944B, in which defendant is charged with simple battery and criminal trespass.
Your Honor, give me 1 second. Let me find that position. Buenas tardes, este va a ser el caso de la posición número 12, es el caso de Roberto Piña Gaona y la acusación es la número 26 CR 001944B y es el cargo es agresión simple.
You have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Usted tiene el derecho de permanecer en silencio. Cualquier cosa que usted diga puede y será usada en contra suya.
You have a right to an attorney, and Ms. Correa is here to represent you.
Usted tiene derecho a un abogado y la señora Correa está aquí para representarlo.
And I am conducting this hearing today by video. Do you understand your rights and how I'm conducting the hearing?
y yo estoy haciendo esta audiencia por video el día de hoy. ¿Comprende usted sus derechos y cómo estamos haciendo esta audiencia? Yes.
All right, thank you, Ms. Harvey.
Y lo primero que la juez pregunta es sobre antecedentes.
4 cycles, last arrest August 24th, 2025, out of Atlanta for criminal trespassing.
Ha tenido 4 ciclos. El último arresto fue el 24 de agosto del 2025 en Atlanta por allanamiento de morada.
That is open under case number 25 CR 005-032B.
Eso es el caso 25 CR 005032B.
One conviction from 2008 for theft by shoplifting. Recommendation is a level 2 and nothing further.
También tiene un encontrado culpable, un caso del 2008. La recomendación para el caso del día de hoy es a nivel 2.
All right, thank you, Ms. Evans-Battle.
Yes, this happened March the 22nd of 2026 at the Quick Trip located at 761 Sidney Marcus Boulevard Northeast.
Esto ocurrió el día 22 de marzo en un Quick Trip en la 761 Sidney Marcus Boulevard.
Mr. Blaylock is an armed security officer at the location and was called because another employee inside the store indicated that Mr. Pina Gona was yelling at the employees.
El señor Blaylock, que es el guardia de seguridad, fue llamado porque le indicaron que otro empleado de la tienda le indicó que usted, el señor Gaona, estaba gritando a los empleados.
He wanted to purchase alcohol, but didn't have any identification on him that displayed his age. And he began an argument with the security officer.
Que quería comprar alcohol, pero que no tenía una identificación con usted, entonces empezó a discutir con el guardia de seguridad.
He dropped his book bag and kept approaching the security officer with his fists balled up, and he, as Mr. Blaylock pushed him away, he began to throw punches at him because he was in Mr. Blaylock's face.
Este señor, entonces usted tira su mochila al piso y con los puños empieza a ir en contra del señor Blaylock, él empieza a golpear al señor Blaylock o a querer golpearlo y él tiene que empujarle a usted y
our bond recommendation is for a $2,000 on the simple battery and $1,000 on the criminal trespass for a $3,000 surety bond. No further contact with Justin Blaylock and stay away from the Quick Trip at 761 Sidney Marcus Boulevard.
Nuestra recomendación, su señoría, es un bono de fianza asegurado por $2,000 por el cargo de agresión simple, uno de $1,000 por el cargo de traspaso o allanamiento de morada, por un total de $3,000 asegurados en bono de fianza, no tener ningún contacto con el señor Justin Blaylock y permanecer lejos, nunca regresar a la Quick Trip de la 761 Sidney Marcus Boulevard.
Thank you.
Y eso es todo lo que la fiscalía dice.
All right, I'm sounding for Justin Blaylock. All right, Ms. Correa.
Y ahora, después de que la juez pregunta si el señor Justin Blaylock está presente por Zoom y no está presente, entonces ahora le toca a su abogada defensora.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Piña Gaona is 50 years old.
Sí, su señoría, el señor Piña Gaona tiene 50 años de edad
And he has lived here since 1998.
y ha vivido aquí desde el 98.
I verified with him that his address in Odyssey is a good address for him.
He verificado con él la dirección de él que tenemos en el sistema de Odyssey y tenemos la dirección correcta.
He currently works as a day laborer doing painting, lawn care, and moving services.
Actualmente él trabaja como trabajador por día haciendo trabajos de pintura, de yarda y de mudanzas.
At present, there is currently a $1,000 bond on the 2025 trespass that Madam Pretrial read out.
En este momento tiene una fianza de $1,000 abierta por el caso del 2025 del cual le hablaron, le informaron a la juez hoy.
There is also a hold for immigration customs enforcement as well.
También tiene usted una orden para que lo entreguen a inmigración.
Given these other hurdles that Mr. Piña Gaona is facing, I am asking Your Honor to follow the recommendation by pretrial services.
Dado que hay todas estas problemas que el señor Piña Gaona necesita encarar en este momento, le estoy pidiendo a su señoría que haga caso a lo que los servicios de la oficina anterior a juicios indica.
In the alternative, there is a preset bond on each charge for $1,000 each.
Go ahead. Alternativamente, lo que le pido a su señoría es una fianza por cada uno de los cargos de $1,000.
So if Your Honor is not inclined to set the signature bond, I would ask that the $2,000 preset bond be left as is.
Y si es que su señoría no quiere darle la fianza únicamente con su firma, le pediría que se adhiera a la fianza fijada ya de $2,000 por ambos casos, por ambos cargos.
All right, defendant is going to receive a $2,000 surety bond, 1,000 on each count.
Y el fallo de la juez es la siguiente: el acusado va a recibir una fianza de $2,000 asegurada, $1,000 por cada uno de los cargos.
He's to have no contact with the alleged victim and stay away from that location.
No puede tener ningún contacto con la víctima y necesita permanecer lejos de esa ubicación.
And he is to have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons.
Y no puede tener bebidas alcohólicas, no puede usar o tener drogas con usted o ningún tipo de arma.
Is there anything additional from the state of the defense?
Not from the defense.
No, Your Honor.
Y eso es todo de parte de la defensa y de parte de la fiscalía.
All right, that concludes your case for today, sir. Best of luck to you.
Eso es todo. Así termina su caso para el día de hoy, señor. Buena suerte.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, if I'm not needed, may I please be excused?
We have one more case.
Perfect. What position would that be?
Number 18.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Brian Viveros Macedo, your case is 26 CR 002043H.
Señor Byron Viveros Macedo, su caso es el 26CR 0020443H.
You were charged with 2 counts of battery.
Y usted está siendo acusado con 2 cargos, 2 acusaciones de agresión.
You have an absolute right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney, and I'm conducting this hearing by video.
Usted tiene el derecho de permanecer en silencio. Usted tiene el derecho a tener un abogado y estoy haciendo esta audiencia por video.
Do you understand your rights and how I'm conducting the hearing today?
¿Comprende usted sus derechos y cómo estamos haciendo esta audiencia el día de hoy?
Sí, claro.
¿Perdón?
Sí, lo comprendo.
Yes, I understand.
All right, thank you, Miss Evans. I'm sorry, Miss Harvey, please proceed.
Ahora la juez pregunta sus antecedentes.
2 cycles. Last arrest was March 22nd, 2024, out of Lake City, Georgia, for driving without a valid license.
Tiene 2 previos ciclos. El último arresto fue el 22 de marzo del 2024 por el manejar sin licencia de conducir en Lake City, Georgia.
That does appear to be an open case, and there is an FTA hold out of Lake City, Georgia, Your Honor. Nothing further.
Ese parece ser un caso todavía abierto. Aparte de eso, ¿tiene usted una orden de que le entreguen allá o lo mantengan, lo retengan a usted porque no se presentó a una audiencia?
Thank you. Miss Evans Battle.
Yes, this happened March the 25th. It appeared the officers went to 1329 Washington Avenue in East Point. At that particular time, the victim is Omar Salas, and he indicated that he and another female roommate of theirs were drinking at the residence. Mr.
Sorry, can we pause for Madam Interpreter?
Yeah.
Este caso, la fiscalía indica lo siguiente. Este caso ocurrió el 25 de marzo del 2026 en la dirección de 1239 Washington Avenue en East Point. Parece que un señor, Omar Salas, estaba bebiendo con una mujer ahí presente. Go ahead, Ms. Evans Battle.
Thank you. At that time, the defendant asked that they turn the music down.
En ese momento, el acusado les pidió a ellos que bajaran el volumen de la música.
There was a confrontation between the parties, and the defendant hit Mr. Salas.
Hubo una pelea entre ambas personas y el acusado le pegó al señor Salas.
He was observed by the police to have a severely swollen right eye and was bleeding from the back of his head.
La policía observó que el señor tenía el ojo derecho hinchado y que estaba sangrando de la parte de atrás de la cabeza.
We're asking for surety in the amount of $4,000, which would be $2,000 for each count.
Lo que estamos pidiendo, lo que la fiscalía está sugiriendo es un bono asegurado de $4,000. Eso se divide $2,000 por cada acusación.
No further contact with Mr. Salas and stay away from the 1329 Washington Avenue location.
No puede tener ningún contacto futuro con el señor Salas y necesita permanecer lejos, no regresar al 1239 Washington Avenue.
And no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond. Thank you.
Y mientras está bajo fianza, una orden de que no beba bebidas alcohólicas, no puede tener ninguna droga con usted o usarla y no tener ni usar ningún arma.
Great, thank you, Miss Correa.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Viveros Macedos is 31 years old.
Ahora es su abogada defensora quien habla por usted e indica que el señor Viveros Macedo tiene 31 años de edad.
He's been in the U.S. for the last 8 years.
Y ha estado en los Estados Unidos por los últimos 8 años.
While he currently resides at the incident location, if he is not allowed to return, he would be residing with his parents in Forest Park.
Aunque él vive en el lugar donde sucedió este incidente, él puede ir a vivir con sus padres que viven en Forest Park.
He currently works 2 jobs. During the week, he works for SE Demolition, doing remodeling jobs.
Él actualmente trabaja 2 diferentes trabajos. En los fines de semana trabaja para SE Demolition haciendo remodelaciones.
And on the weekends, he works at a car wash.
Y los fines de, perdón, ese era entre semana y los fines de semana trabaja en un una lavada de carros.
At this time, we would ask for the UJR so that he can go on to handle his Lake City hold. But in the alternative, we would ask for $500 bond on each charge. So $1,000 total.
Miss Correa, I'm sorry, for the interpreter, UJR, please.
Oh, signature bond.
Thank you. En este momento estamos pidiendo y su abogada defensora pide un bono de fianza únicamente bajo su firma. Y si es que tiene que encarar, pues obviamente, lo que le están reteniendo de la ciudad de Lake City. Si no, sería perdón, van a ser bonos de fianza por $500 por cada acusación.
Defendant, excuse me. Defendant will receive a $2,000 surety bond, $1,000 on each count.
Y el fallo de la juez es la siguiente. Usted va a recibir un bono de fianza asegurado por $2,000. Eso quiere decir $1,000 por cada acusación.
He's to have no contact with the alleged victim and stay away from the location on Washington Road.
No puede tener ningún contacto con la víctima y necesita permanecer lejos de esa dirección donde sucedió este incidente.
He's to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
No puede tener bebidas alcohólicas, drogas o ningún tipo de arma.
Is there anything additional from state or defense?
La juez pregunta si es que tanto la fiscalía como la defensa necesitan decirle algo más.
Could Mr. Viveros Macedo have a one-time return to collect his belongings?
Y su abogada defensora entonces pide que la juez ordene que puede regresar en una ocasión únicamente al lugar del incidente para recoger y recuperar todas sus pertenencias.
Yes, he can return one time with a member of law enforcement to collect his items.
La jueza falla que sí, que puede regresar, pero tiene que ser con un miembro de la policía o algún tipo de enforzamiento de la ley. No puede ir solo.
Anything additional? That concludes this case for today. Best of luck to you, sir.
Eso es todo en cuanto a su caso el día de hoy, señor. Buena suerte.
¿Puedo hacer una pregunta?
Can I make a question?
Yes, very quickly, but again, don't interfere with your right to remain silent.
Lo puede hacer rápidamente, pero acuérdese que tiene el derecho de permanecer en silencio.
Solo si pago eso, voy a permanecer más tiempo aquí.
If I pay that, will I be held more time here?
I believe you have another hold. So maybe your attorney can speak with you about that.
Me parece que tiene usted una orden de retención, otra separada, pero su abogada puede hablar con usted sobre eso.
Once you pay the bond in Fulton County, Lake City will have an opportunity to come collect you from the Fulton County Jail and take you to their jail.
Una vez que usted pague esta fianza de estos cargos en el condado de Fulton, entonces la ciudad de Lake City tiene la oportunidad de venir a recogerlo a usted y llevarlo allá para que usted encare entonces los cargos y las acusaciones que tiene en esa ciudad en contra suya.
All right, best of luck to you, so your case is concluded for today.
Buena suerte, señores. Es todo para su caso el día de hoy.
All right. Have a good afternoon, and thank you, Lucia, for your help. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Judge Williams. You as well.
Okay. All right. Do we have any announcement on where those young ladies, I believe it was 3 of them, might be located?
They're at ACDC. They're at ACDC.
Is ACDC gonna come back and bring them?
I think she's gone for today. Moore, Walker, Johnson. Moore.
Okay, let's take the wave tape. I'm not sure what to do about that one.
And there may be, just for your honor's information, there may be one more incoming. I saw there wasn't a case number assigned to a Tiante Goolsby as of yet, so I did refile that.
Thanks, sir.
Okay. Can we try to call ACDC while we do the wave case? All right, let's take it
We,
up.
we.
Oh, you did and it was not successful?
Yep.
Oh, that's gonna turn into a Riverside issue, isn't it? All right, we're gonna take the wave case 26 CR 002048J, in which defendant is charged with obstruction. Ms. Harvey, can I have the history?
Which position was it, Your Honor? I'm
This
sorry.
add-on 3, Tyrone Glenn.
Okay. 15 cycles. Last arrest was December 21st, 2025, out of Atlanta for criminal damage to property in the second degree. VGCSA, purchase, possession, or have a controlled substance in Schedule 1 or 2. There's an open case out of Fulton for entering auto, terroristic threats, criminal trespass, and damage to property under 26 SC 001195. Open entering auto and theft by taking under 25 PI 003043. Open criminal damage to property in VGCSA under 25 PI 010351. Also an open entering auto, theft by taking and obstruction, 25 PI 005558. Conviction from 2011 for robbery, 09 burglary, and an FTA from 2024. Recommendation was a level 3. Nothing further.
Thank you, Ms. Evans, or is this Mr. Srocco?
This is my case, Judge.
All right, please proceed.
Yes, officers were dispatched to a dispute between the defendant and his mother. Upon arrival, they learned that the defendant had active warrants, which is certainly the case, and he fled through the rear door of the home, ran into a wooded area. He was eventually found behind lawn equipment bag in a shed, and the officers had to toss in OC spray, at which point the defendant emerged and was placed under arrest. And further investigation of the initial call revealed the defendant was asking his mother for money for drugs and being rude, and she called the police due to his hostile behavior. In addition to all of these, I'm seeing 5 PI cases, 4 of which for entering auto, and the open entering auto case also under 26 SC 001195, in addition to a 2024 FTA that I see there. State's recommending a $1,000 surety bond here on this obstruction charge. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Thank you. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Glenn is 34 years old and he does have a local address, phone number. Your Honor, this is willful obstruction of law enforcement officers misdemeanor. We ask for signature on bond for pretrial. He does have other big fishes to fry, so he will still be hearing you in Rice Street for a while, and that's about it, Your Honor.
Do you not want him to receive credit for the time he served, Ms. Kim?
Let's not do that. Defendant's gonna receive a $1,000 surety bond. He's to have no alcohol, drugs, weapons, and he'll be reset to state all purpose on the 9th. All right, as it pertains to the parties who are missing, I'm not even, usually we can kind of hunt them down. Are we gonna, go ahead?
There's one client that I interviewed, however, he has not been accused. I really believe that his cases is misdemeanors and he should be heard. He turned himself in. It is Saint Jean Jr. Island.
The state is not accusing that case at this time. It is a felony, and unless something, he can be heard tomorrow if by chance the decision has not been made, but it should never even have been charged as a misdemeanor.
I really don't think it is felony.
It has an accusation number?
No.
Oh, well then.
I'm not accusing it right now, so.
Okay, then yeah, it goes to felony first appearance then. Okay, as it pertains to these three young ladies, I'm assuming we have to recess them to tomorrow, but we understand that more than likely they're all gonna be Riverside issues and they're all gonna get out on a signature bond through the jail. So I don't know what to do with that. And one was a consent bond, correct, Ms. Kim?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah,
So
it
Ms.
was, the offer was identical to the one made to Miss Raintree, but I cannot accept that on
Right, because
behalf
you
of-
hadn't spoken to her. Okay, well then
Yes.
they have to be reset to tomorrow unless somebody can figure out a way to get ACDC to find these young ladies. And they were not, no one had information about where they were for sure. They are at ACDC for sure.
For sure, yes, ma'am.
The sheriffs would have the most up-to-date information. Odyssey
Right, I believe
probably
it.
has a lag.
No, I believe it. I'm just,
Yeah, is
I'm
there
at
a
a
bond
loss.
already set by the magistrate?
Doesn't matter. They still have to, if they don't have that first appearance in the 72 hours, they're gonna get signature bonds to the jail tomorrow. Okay, well, I guess there's nothing we can do. I guess Ms. Strong, well, I think, please review the calendar.
Did we receive Goolsby's accusations yet?
Is Goolsby sitting in the courtroom too? I don't see anybody there. When did you file it down? Did he make the cutoff? If not,
It
he's
was
going to tomorrow too.
I mean, he should have. It was a refiling. I believe he was one of the ones that there were quarantine issues with in the actual filing process. But the refiling took place just recently. So, I mean, if he is there, we would ask that his case be heard.
And I think Mr. Jordan had said earlier he was doing them by hand.
Manually, correct. Their system is down, so everything has to be done manually right now.
Is Mr. Goolsby there? And does the clerk have a number for the case? Has it made its way down? That sounds like a no all around. I'm taking silence for a no.
I'm sorry, Judge. I really thought I was unmuted. What's the person's booking number?
I'll pull that up.
But was he on the pool sheet?
I believe he was on yesterday's.
He's not on today's pool sheet. You said Goolsby?
Yeah, Goolsby.
He's not on today's pool sheet. We only go off the pool sheet that we were sent today. So do you have the booking number?
Let me try. I'll try again to pull it up.
Okay. In the meantime, I'm gonna go through the calendar. Position number 1 was a 2-cent cash bond. Position number
Strong, before you start that, Judge, are we gonna reset these other cases?
I don't know yet, Miss Grace. I'm still
Okay.
thinking of what to do.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Strong.
Thank
you.
And I have a booking number for Goolsby.
what is the thing? Goolsby didn't, he said he filed this. I'm sorry. He asking about.
Did I miss a case?
I don't know. He said he filed.
It's a 2603051.
I'm assuming we have to reset these young ladies to tomorrow, despite the Riverside issue. I'm gonna alert Judge Law, who will be covering the calendar, that I don't know.
Oh, never mind, I get it. So they're not on the pool sheet.
He's not on this pool sheet, but he said he was on the pool sheet from yesterday. I apologize. Position number 1 was a 2-cent cash bond. Position number 2 was a $50 cash bond. Position number 3, $3,500 good bond. Position number 4 is a $6,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Position number 5 is a $1,000 good bond. 6 is a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. 7 is a $5,000 good bond. 8 is a $1,000 good bond. I'm calling my calendar. Position number 9 is reset for tomorrow's SEA calendar. Position number 10 is a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Position number 11 was a $1,000 good bond or the 10%. That was the one that you asked for the 10%, right, Miss Kim?
Position 11?
I believe so.
Yes.
Position number 12 was a $2,000 good bond. 13 is a $1,500 good bond. 14, $1,500 good bond. 15 is a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Excuse me. Position number 16 is a $600 good bond. 17 is a $3,500 good bond. 18 is a $2,000 good bond. 19 is a $6,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, 18 is a $2,000 good bond. 19 is a $6,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. 20, we're resetting for tomorrow. And position number 21, we're also resetting for tomorrow. On the add-on calendar, position number 1 is a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. 2 is a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Position number 3 is a $1,000 good bond. Position number 4 is a $30 cash bond. And position number 5 is a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. And all the cases that are reset are being reset for April the 9th.
Any comments, changes, corrections, or questions?
And Mr. Sirocco, I'm assuming Goolsby will be on the calendar for tomorrow.
Gotcha. Thank you.
All right.
You know,
All right.
like, I really, really believe saying Jean has to be misdemeanor. I read the statute, but he never left the state of Georgia. He's still here in Georgia. I don't think it is felony.
I'm not accusing that case today. I can still contend it's a felony, and I'm not accusing it today. And there's no Riverside issue, so.
Okay, so I guess we'll take that note. Can't force Ms. Evans Battle to accuse it. All right, reluctantly, we are in recess until tomorrow. Unless anyone has any other dynamic idea for how to get the young ladies out, because again, it's gonna be a Riverside issue, and I've already alerted Judge Law. I'm sure the state's not gonna love that, but that'll be what it is. And technically, the minute that 72 hours rolls, they should be let out without even having to come here for somebody to say that. So, okay, well, we'll be in recess until tomorrow's SCA calendar. Take care, everyone, and have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye.
Before we conclude, Ms. Strong and Ms. Grace, stay for one moment. Bye, everyone else.
Okay.
Bye-bye, courtroom 1.
Bye-bye.
Can we put everybody else can we put these 2 parties into the waiting room or out of the meeting for a moment? Thank you. Can we stop the YouTube?